are so many homes that are in danger.
From wildfires.
You gonna be okay? Hi? You gonna be okay?
To ice raids. To a historic repeat World Series win.
The Dodgers win back-to-back titles.
2025 took us all on an emotional journey, fueled by enormous highs.
I really appreciate this.
And devastating lows.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
But the year also showed us how resilient we are. Through fear, through pain, we came together to embrace hope, express gratitude, and find moments of joy.
In many ways, I'm very lucky.
Helping us rebuild and unite stronger in a year
3P ain't never sounded so sweet.
we'll never forget.
Hello, everyone. I'm Marla Tejas. It was a year to remember. We are taking you back through the biggest and most impactful stories of 2025. What started as a very dry winter with fierce winds erupting into one of the worst wildfire disasters in Los Angeles in California history. Without a doubt, our biggest story of the year, the deadly January wildfires. For many, the scars go far deeper than burnt wood and ash.
On January 7th, a wave of wildfires ignited across our area. Over the next 3 weeks, a total of 5 major fires ripped through the region. The 2 deadliest and most destructive, the Palisades fire, burning through the Santa Monica Mountains and into coastal neighborhoods, and the Eaton fire, which surged from the San Gabriel Mountains into foothill communities like Altadena and Pasadena.
Evacuate the area. Por favor, evacúe el área.
How many more horses do you have?
We have a couple we just let loose over there. We're trying to get as many as we can out.
Fueled by extreme drought, parched vegetation, and record-breaking Santa Ana winds, at times gusting near 100 miles per hour, fires race through brush, hillsides, and neighborhoods with terrifying speed.
We're going to turn this way with all these embers flying.
You gonna be okay? Hi? You gonna be okay?
By the time the last blaze was contained on January 31st, the toll was staggering. More than 57,500 acres burned, 18,000 plus homes and structures destroyed or damaged, and 200,000 plus residents evacuated.
The minute I saw people look at us and say, "You have kids, get out of your car and walk," I just got out of the car and we just walked.
Official fatalities were reported at 31, though later studies estimate the true death toll, including indirect health impacts, could be much higher. Entire streets were reduced to ash.
As I just get wider and wider, you can see some of the homes still standing, but so many of them just flattened out.
Homes, businesses, local landmarks gone.
This is what happened to our house. And a lot of stuff that I love is gone. These are the only things I have. This, oh no, and this. And it's so sad.
Families displaced, children suddenly without schools, and air so toxic many couldn't return for weeks.
Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
Federal, state, and local agencies mobilized. Fire crews, aircraft dropping retardant, emergency response teams, shelter and evac centers. But it was a firefight on multiple fronts: containment, human safety, and later, cleanup.
We are going to move as fast as we can, but we want you to be safe, and we want you to be back in your homes immediately.
Once the flames subsided, the real work began.
In a matter of weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, we hope folks are out there starting the construction phase.
By spring, most public water systems were restored, but rebuilding homes, replacing infrastructure, and reestablishing normalcy became a long and painful path for thousands. Beyond physical rebuilding, communities are grappling with trauma. Many residents lost everything. Families have been displaced for months.
It's kind of hard to keep it together because our life is gone. It's not gone. We're alive. We're fortunate, but our home is nothing there but the chimney.
Insurance companies face unprecedented claims, and many homes once deemed insurable may not be.
It's still going to be months and in some cases years before this is fully squared away.
And with destruction comes questions. Could this have been prevented? Who's accountable?
Were you aware that there was no water there?
No, we weren't aware of that.
Meanwhile, investigations continue into potential causes. The Eaton fire, which destroyed thousands of structures and killed up to 19 people, is under scrutiny. Debates are raging over whether California's firefighting infrastructure, shelters, early warning systems, evacuation plans, was ready for a disaster of this scale.
We had to be our own alert system.
A separate academic study found during the fires, many evacuees lacked access to adequate shelters. In some mountainous or remote zones, shelter availability was virtually non-existent.
It just felt like the whole community was just kind of left to fend for themselves.
Politically, the fires have refocused statewide attention on climate change, land use policy, building codes, and utility regulation. Residents, public safety advocates, and officials are calling for sweeping reforms, from stricter maintenance and utility oversight to better land management to improve disaster preparedness and community-wide resilience.
Am I surprised? No. But I appreciate the fact that now I understand what we need to focus on as a board to make sure that what we begin to fix actually is going to make a difference.
The wildfires were a wake-up call not only for residents but for community leaders. We know the rebuild will take years, but many questions remain about how the disaster was handled. We dive into all of it in a special called Hope After the Flames. You can find this on our website, foxla.com, and our YouTube channel. Next up, the fall of a massive music mogul. We first broke the story back in the spring of 2024. The investigation into Sean Diddy Combs ignites a coordinated cross-country raid, ultimately leading to a conviction and years behind bars. Fox 11's Bob DeCastro takes us through the case.
May 5th, New York City. Sean Diddy Combs' trial gets underway for federal racketeering and sex trafficking charges. It marked the beginning of the end of an explosive investigation launched into the spotlight in March 2024.
Come out with your hands up.
Fox 11 exclusively showing federal agents from Homeland Security investigations swooping in on Diddy's Holmby Hills mansion. Officials say they were investigating allegations of sex trafficking, narcotics, and other serious offenses. By September 2024, Diddy was indicted in Manhattan federal court.
Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
Combs pled not guilty, and on July 2nd, the verdict. Diddy was acquitted of the racketeering and sex trafficking counts, but found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution.
Today's a great victory. At the end of the day, it's a colossal failure by the prosecution.
It was a mixed verdict. Serious charges dropped, but convictions still earned.
We're pleased that he's finally been held responsible for 2 federal crimes, something that he's never faced in his life. He still faces substantial jail time.
Fast forward to October 3rd, sentencing day. 50 months in federal prison plus 5 years of supervised release and a $500,000 fine.
Many of my clients were very concerned that he might walk free by the end of this year, and they were very much afraid that he would retaliate against them.
Diddy's case marks one of the more high-profile reckonings in entertainment. With good conduct credits, he may be free again by 2028. But what happens with his appeals, legacy, and the impact of those involved remains to be seen. All right, coming up, a battle that began in June of 2025, but will surely carry on into the new year. We're taking an in-depth look at the widespread ICE raids across LA. But first, here's a look at other news that made headlines this year. It was a tumultuous year for the Menendez brothers and their fight for freedom. Both Eric and Lyle were denied parole for the gruesome 1989 murders of their parents, just months after a judge resentenced them to 50 years to life in prison. There are still avenues available for their release, but it could take years without Governor Gavin Newsom granting clemency. The unsolved case of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a missing 14-year-old girl who was found dead in a Tesla belonging to singer David. Right now, no arrests in the case. We also still don't know how she died. More of the year's top stories right after this break.
They don't need all this. They don't need all this. If they would have done it a different way, I truly believe it would not have escalated this much.
It's not just criminals that they're just taking everybody.
Welcome back. We are taking you back through the biggest headlines of 2025. Our next story, widespread ICE raids across Southern California and the massive demonstrations that followed. It began as a nationwide crackdown on undocumented immigrants, but quickly evolved into a full-blown crisis in Los Angeles. Sweeping raids, powerful protests, military deployments, and mounting political tension. Fox 11's Susan Hirosuna takes us through the moments that drastically changed Southern California forever.
Early June, when the landscape of Los Angeles County took an alarming turn no one saw coming, federal agents, including ICE and Homeland Security investigators, conducted raids across LA. Local car washes, factories in the fashion district, and big box retailers such as Home Depot became common targets.
They grabbed anyone that was there. First, they grabbed my daughter and pushed her on the fence. I tried to get her, and then the FBI got me from the throat.
By the time the 5-day operation wrapped up, nearly 200 people had been arrested, many with prior criminal records.
Any illegal alien that we come into contact with, we're here to arrest them.
But critics say large numbers were detained simply on immigration status.
They are saying they're doing this because they're going after criminals. They're not going after criminals, they're going after workers.
The raids ignited outrage almost immediately. Within hours, communities mobilized, crowds gathered outside detention centers. Peaceful marches swelled into impassioned protests. At one point, thousands blocked freeway overpasses, demanding an end to what they called mass deportations.
No matter where you stand, I don't think anybody wants to see families ripped apart, right?
As the days passed with continued raids, confrontations erupted. Demonstrators squaring off against federal agents, riot gear, tear gas, flashbangs, and less than lethal munitions. The scene grew chaotic over the weekend. Protesters throwing rocks and concrete, setting fires. Law enforcement pushed back with force.
You shouldn't even be here!
It feels like a war zone out here.
This was only the beginning.
If you think this is getting out of hand, I'll control everybody right now.
Weeks later, the unrest had not died down.
You're insane! Get the f our community! What the is wrong with you?
The local response escalated into something unprecedented, the deployment of National Guard troops and even Marines into the streets of Los Angeles. City officials, community leaders, and civil rights advocates cried foul. For them, it was more than enforcement, it was the militarization of immigrant communities. At the same time, dozens of local and statewide governments moved to push back.
What is happening to undocumented immigrants is also happening to U.S. citizens, which means that this can happen to anyone, to all of us at any period of time.
The ACLU, city governments, and immigrant rights groups launched lawsuits challenging the legality of warrantless arrests and racial profiling.
If you're brown and you happen to come into contact with these ICE agents and these Border Patrol agents, they will come for you.
Meanwhile, polls show a sharp divide among Californians. While many support strict immigration enforcement, a growing number say the raids have gone too far.
These are hard-working community members. People are average. That's why I'm here. Because we have to protect community and make sure they have rights like anybody else.
Immigrant workers are staying home from jobs. Neighborhood businesses are shuttering. Children skip class. In Los Angeles, a city built on immigration culture and diversity.
La migra está acá!
Support networks sprung up, volunteer patrols, community-based legal support, even online systems to alert when ICE or Border Patrol is nearby.
They may have the backing of the federal government, but that doesn't mean that what they're doing is legal, constitutional, and moral, quite honestly.
How this plays out in the courts, on the streets, and with voters remains to be seen.
Hey, no les abra! Are you serious, bro?
But one thing is clear, the fallout from these ICE raids will be felt for years.
As normal people working their jobs, trying to provide for their own families, to push to have a better life.
Our next story, California politics, it's anything but boring, and 2025 certainly had its dramatic moments, from Prop 50 and redrawing California's congressional districts to who might or might not lead the state next. Fox 11's Christine Devine breaks down what happened and what could lie ahead.
Prop 50 is not about drawing lines on a map. It is about holding the line to what makes us who we are.
In November, Californians approved Proposition 50, a ballot measure that adopts a new congressional map drawn by lawmakers in Sacramento. Supporters, including state leaders and national Democrats, pitched Prop 50 as a necessary response to aggressive map drawing by Republican-led states.
It's necessary. I don't see it as dirty tricks.
Prop 50 gives Democrats the opportunity to potentially flip up to 5 Republican-held House seats, reshuffling the political landscape ahead of the 2026 midterms. Critics argue the move dials back transparency, stripping district drawing power from independent oversight, placing it back in the hands of politicians.
Destroying California's gold standard redistricting process is not the way to hold the president accountable.
As legal challenges begin to pile up, the long-term impact remains uncertain. With the map redrawn, the stage for California's next governor just got a lot more interesting.
We're going to see, I think, a number of Democrats jumping into those races immediately. It's going to be a wild year.
Vermont's eyes were on a former Vice President Kamala Harris as a front-runner for the 2026 gubernatorial race. Her entrance might have cleaned up the field before it even began. Instead, on July 30th, Harris stunned by announcing she would not run for governor. In a public statement, she said that after reflection, she believes she could serve the public better outside elected office, but did not rule out other forms of civic engagement.
Other stories that made headlines this year. Tragedy strikes the LA County Sheriff's Department. 3 detectives killed in an explosion at a training facility in East LA over the summer. The case of missing baby Emmanuel Haro. The 7-month-old's parents claimed he was kidnapped outside a Yucaipa store. His father, Jake, eventually pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. He is now serving a more than 30-year prison sentence. The mother, Rebecca, pleaded not guilty and is due in court in January. And who could forget our favorite feathered family, Big Bear's bald eagle couple, Jackie and Shadow. Their family got a little bigger in the spring when 2 eaglets, Gizmo and Sunny, left the egg and made their big debut. They took flight and left the nest just a few months later. We'll be right back. Finally tonight, one of the biggest highlights of the year, the boys in blue become back-to-back champions, winning the World Series in a tense Game 7 against the Toronto Blue Jays, bringing the trophy and the Dodgers' love back home to LA. Fox 11 Sports' Gerard Moncure recaps the historic moments.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Kirk bounces one up the middle, bats to the back, over to first. The Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles.
The moment of a lifetime repeated for the 2nd year in a row. The Dodgers defeat the Toronto Blue Jays in a 7-game World Series for the ages. Back-to-back World Series titles, and the first franchise to do so in over a quarter century. The journey to the World Series started halfway around the world. The Dodgers opening the season in Tokyo, the beginning of one of their hottest starts in franchise history. The offense, powered by superstar Shohei Ohtani. who didn't just live up to expectations, he shattered them.
It is gone! A drive in 55!
Ohtani blasted 55 home runs this season, the most ever by a Dodger, while adding 14 starts on the mound in his first season of pitching for the Boys in Blue. By September, the Dodgers had clinched another NL West title, their 12th in the last 13 years. Then came October, and the defending champions took out opponent after opponent. Dave Roberts' squad then faced a Toronto Blue Jays team representing a country that hadn't been to the Fall Classic in 32 years.
Kiss it goodbye!
The Jays were not afraid of the big stage, proving to be a more formidable opponent than the New York Yankees the previous November.
Drilled to left field and deep and gone! No way! Miguel Rojas!
In true Fall Classic form, the series went the distance. A Game 7 thriller that played extra innings and was in doubt until the final out.
For the first time in 25 years, we have a repeat champion in baseball, the Los Angeles Dodgers, World Series champions.
The Boys in Blue become back-to-back champions for the first time in franchise history. The win, the energy, the pride, evident back home in another celebration with Angelinos.
And I want to take this time to apologize to absolutely nobody. The triple champ does what he wants.
For the Dodgers, 2025 was more than a sequel to last year. It was a statement, a true confirmation. This team isn't just special, it's a dynasty forever cemented in sports history.
I'm ready to get another ring next year. Let's go.
Three-peat ain't never sounded so sweet.
Job in 2024 done. Job in 2025 done. Job in 2026 starts now.
Thank you so much for joining us on a journey back through the biggest stories of 2025. We will see you again next year. Cannot wait to see what's ahead in 2026. Good night.